hello, hello. We're loading into a new map with just me and the DPV because it's time to do another walkthrough in depth. This time we are in Crude. As you would expect, this is a oil station. And Crude has a lot of interesting things about it that make it different from any other map. Actually, while we're here, let's talk about this thing. It's weird because you've got this one little area of cover that's usually absolutely loaded with treasure, as you can kind of see here. So a lot of people kind of sneak up through here, but it's got this big, wide open area before you hit your first room, and this is almost always where the first kill happens, either for sharks or for divers. Usually in the sharks' favor because they come up from under there or right behind one of these buildings. So you come in from here, and your first safe room is going to be right over here. And a couple things you need to worry about from here is your obvious entrances, which is going to be this little door right here with this entrance. The way you will probably come in up here, this little hole, and this little thing. Now, there are some breakables, of course. I do believe that that floor right there is completely and totally breakable. I know this wall is breakable. And I think this one is too, but I actually kind of doubt that. I don't think that one's breakable. But I know this floor is, and this door here is. You are... Honestly, this is probably one of the safer rooms in this particular map. Here's the thing. You have a pickup right up here. Oh, while I'm in this thing, you should probably note that this giant blob is supposed to be crude oil, and it will block your vision when you're through it. So do be very careful when you're going around. Usually, it's right around that tower. There are two potential spawn locations for the next safe room. Wait a minute. Maybe I'm lying. No, I'm right. Two potential spawn locations. The first one here is going to be where Steve is at. Is right across the way. There's your first room. And here's your second room. So, either way, each one of these things is going to have a nice, long, narrow corridor to deal with. There's going to be a breakable ceiling. There's going to be multiple ways to get through. That wall, I believe, is breakable. I believe a section of this floor is also breakable. You've got this door here. This thing, I believe, is breakable. That door is breakable. That thing, and of course, this section here. The other room where it could potentially spawn is right across from your first room. You'll go in through this little L, and voila, this is where the safes would be. This floor is going to be breakable. These doors here, I believe part of the ceiling is, although I'm not entirely sure where. I think it's like right here. And then, of course, you also have this door frame here. Those are our two... With either one of these two spawn points and the first safe room, this is where your top two safe rooms are going to be, and this is basically, on Crude, the last glimpse of sunlight you will ever get. This is what I like to call the green half of Crude, and on the other side, the grass, unfortunately, is black and not green, because it gets very dark down here very quickly, mostly because the platform is blocking the light, but I also think that they wanted to feel like the current is also blocking some of the light. Second room here, this is probably the most exposed room of the entire bunch, because it's got this giant honking corridor where sharks can get in and prepare an ambush before you can't even see them unless you've got vision through there. That wall's breakable. This thing's wide open. That door's breakable. I believe a huge chunk of this wall is also breakable. This door... So there's plenty of places for the sharks to kind of come through and grab you and go. And I do believe out this way... Yep, right here. We got your med kit and an ammo pickup. So right outside of here. you can either take the this door here, or if that wall's busted out, you should be able to take it through there. In this particular room, I've had some good luck with volley jets. Of course, automatic rifles are always a good shot. Mines are super useful on this map, I should state to mention, because most of these rooms have plenty of doorways to come through. The problem comes in is you just cannot cover each and every potential exit with a mine. So you kind of have to pick and choose where you're going to place them, judging on your current shark's strategy of getting in and getting out, your current shark species, and of course, what safe room you're in. And the next room is basically the mine room of this entire game. And we will see in just a moment, because we have to head down to, I believe, the lowest part of this entire section. Come on, Steve. Come on, Steve. This is the room. Here he comes. This room is extremely tiny and extremely dark. If you sit in one corner, even with your flashlight, it's really hard to see all the way across the room. You kind of have to be in the middle of it in order to properly see your corners. On top of that, the floor is already completely busted out of this place. You have a real quick in and out section from here, and they have one from here. They can break these two doors open here and have another zip through. That window's open, that one's open, that one's open, and that one's open. So you have a very, very confined space, but it has so many openings that if you're not careful, a shark can grab you and zip out before anyone can react to it. That said, this room is very, very easy to keep covered with mines, because you can cover two entrances by placing one well-placed mine, maybe right here or just outside of one of these windows, or just inside. This is where I will happily admit to sitting in a corner and basically corner camping, because in order to get up here, this guy has to make a hell of a U-turn, although I've seen it happen, or he has to come up through the floor or right across the way. He basically has to come up completely through my vision, and if you have something like a volley jet, that's goodbye shark, unless it's a hammerhead, a raging bull, or a great white. So you've definitely got a chance to survive it here, but this one, especially if you have hyper-aggressive sharks, is very, very tough. And even if you don't have hyper-aggressive sharks and they don't kill you in here, the way back is really, really long. It's not Antigua long, but I believe it's like either the second or the third longest trip that you have to go back here. Because not only is it dark as piss, but you have to pass by this thing. And as I said before, the oil decals can really block your vision. You can't see for dicks in any of this. I will say that throwing flares in a triangle pattern can really help make sure that you kind of keep your eyes in the back of your head sutured up and ready to go. Sutured up. That's not what I meant. You hear what I'm saying. You throw your flares so you can see the sharks coming, even when you can't see them coming. Steve will continue to plumb on up here. He does not come up through here, although as I'll come up here, and you can see kind of where we're at. This is a very, very deep map. Steve will zip along through here. This is where a lot of sharks can, because they've got a lot of cover, they can kind of dip back and around behind. So they have a field day coming through here, right up until about here. Because now is when they can come from the back of here, but most sharks are going to try to come at you from this great big wide opening. So you kind of have something to put your back against the wall here until Steve's getting real close, and you can use that to your advantage. Good sharks obviously will be able to play around that, but against average sharks that most of you guys will probably be playing against, it works well enough. And you can also put your back against the wall up here, although you do have to be careful of aerial, as it were, attacks. So that is Crude, everyone. It's dark, it's green, and it's got a lot of hidey holes and a lot of opportunities to learn. So thanks for joining me on this gameplay guide. or not gameplay guide, but this walkthrough guide, and check out the gameplay guide that I will link in a card in the upper right corner of the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys for watching so much. I'll see you in the water, guys. Bye-bye.